Every morning routine video tells you the same thing. Wake up early, exercise, cold shower, read, work. And every person who watches those videos tries it for a week, maybe 2, and then goes back to exactly who they were before. Not because the advice was wrong, because it was incomplete. Those videos told you what Ayanokoji does. Nobody ever told you what those things do to your brain. And that difference is everything. I want to be honest with you. 3 months ago, my mornings were a disaster. Not because I was lazy, I was following a routine. I was waking up early. I was exercising. I was doing everything the videos told me to do. And by 10 a.m., I was already mentally exhausted. Sitting at my desk, staring at my biology textbooks, completely unable to enter the focused state. As a biology student, I started pulling apart every single element of Ayanokoji's morning structure. Not what he did, why each thing existed, what it was actually doing to his neurology. And what I found completely changed how I understand mornings. Here is the first thing most morning routine videos get completely wrong. They tell you to wake up early, but waking up early is not the intervention. What happens in the first 10 minutes after waking is the intervention. And most people waste it without realizing it exists. Here is the biology. Once every 24 hours, your brain produces a surge of cortisol. Most people hear cortisol and immediately think stress. That is a misunderstanding. That is quietly destroying millions of mornings. Cortisol, at the right time and in the right amount, is not the stress hormone. It is the alertness hormone. It is responsible for motivation, focus, mood regulation, and the feeling of being genuinely ready to attack the day. The problem is this. That cortisol surge does not happen at a fixed time. It is triggered by light, specifically by the moment your eyes first receive bright natural light. If you wake up and spend the first 30 minutes in a dim room, scrolling your phone under the covers, your cortisol spike gets delayed by hours, which means your peak alertness window, the neurological state where your brain is operating at its absolute highest cognitive capacity, arrives in the afternoon, when you are already exhausted, already 3 hours into your day, already burning through mental energy on decisions and distractions. By the time your brain reaches its peak, the best hours are already gone. Think about what you feel like at 2 p.m. on a bad day. Foggy, slightly irritable, unable to focus despite sitting at your desk for hours. That is not laziness. That is a misaligned cortisol spike, arriving at the wrong time, because your morning sent the wrong signal. Now think about Ayanokoji. Every training environment he has ever been in is blindingly bright. Not by accident, the brightness triggers the cortisol spike at precisely the right moment. His peak alertness window does not arrive at noon. It arrives at the beginning of every single session, every day, without motivation, without willpower, biologically. The practical application is simple. The moment you wake up, before your phone, before coffee, before anything else, get to a source of bright light. Open window, bright overhead lights if neither is available. 10 minutes. That is the entire intervention. Determines whether you waste the most powerful psychological opportunity of your entire day or weaponize it. While most people get their morning light, they check their phone. And the moment they do, they have made the single most destructive decision of their entire morning without realizing it. Here is why. Your brain just spent 8 hours in a lower stimulation sleep state. Your dopamine baseline is at its absolute lowest point of the entire day. Your subconscious mind is in its most neurologically receptive state. Think of it like freshly poured concrete, still wet, ready to take the shape of whatever is pressed into it. And the first thing most people press into that wet concrete is someone else's opinion, someone else's highlight reel, someone else's drama. You have just handed the programming of your most receptive neurological window to an algorithm that does not know your name, does not know your goals, and does not care about either. Ayanokoji has never once in the entire series been shown reacting to external noise in the morning. He is never rattled by what someone else did overnight. He is never destabilized by information that arrived before he was ready for it. Not because he suppresses it, because his first inputs of the day are always his own, his direction, his identity. That is not a personality trait. That is a deliberate neurological choice made every single morning. The first inputs of the day shape the psychological architecture of everything that follows. What enters your mind first becomes the lens through which your brain interprets every subsequent experience. Feed it anxiety and comparison first thing, and your brain spends the rest of the day processing through that filter. Feed it intentional identity priming first thing, and your brain processes every subsequent experience through the lens of who you are becoming. So here is what I do during those 10 minutes of morning light. I run what I call the identity answer. 3 questions. First, what does that person do today? Third, what is the one thing that if I complete it today, makes everything else feel secondary? These are not journal prompts. They are neurological priming statements. Research from New York University on implementation intentions shows that people who specify exactly what they will do, when they will do it, and why it connects to their identity are significantly more likely to follow through than people who simply intend to do something. You are not planning your day, you are installing the day's operating system. Before the world has a chance to install its own version, Ayanokoji never reacted to his day. He had already decided what his day was before it started, in silence, before anyone else was awake. That silence is not emptiness. It is the most producive state your brain will be in all day, and most people scroll through it without even noticing it existed. Now, everything I just described, the sealed input environment, the identity anchor, the neurological programming window, this is the same principle the White Room Protocol video is built entirely around. If you want the complete environmental system that makes this morning routine 10 times more powerful, I built an entire video breaking it down. Watch it after this one. But right now, let us talk about the physical element that most morning routine videos get completely wrong. I want to be honest with you about exercise, because every morning routine video in this space says the same thing. Wake up at 3 a.m., 2-hour gym session, push-pull legs, hit every muscle group. And if you cannot maintain that, you are simply not serious enough. That advice is not wrong. It is just missing the actual reason exercise belongs in a morning routine in the first place. And when you do not understand the reason, you do the exercise for a week. It feels hard, you miss one day, and it collapses. Because you are following a rule without understanding the principle behind it. The principle is a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists literally call it fertilizer for the brain. Every time you engage in physical exercise that elevates your heart rate, your brain produces BDNF, and BDNF does something that no supplement, no nootropic, no biohack can replicate. It promotes the growth of new neural connections. It enhances memory consolidation, and it directly increases your brain's capacity for learning and retention for the next 4 to 6 hours after exercise. Let that land for a moment. Whatever you study or work on in the 4 to 6 hours immediately following morning exercise. Whatever you study or work on in the 4 to 6 hours immediately following morning exercise, your brain is physically more capable of retaining that information than at any other point in the day. Ayanokoji is described in the light novels as someone who trains physically every single morning before any cognitive work begins. Most people read that and think, of course, discipline. That is not the reason. The reason is that his physical training is stage 1 of his cognitive preparation, not a separate activity, the first stage of the sequence. Stage 1, prepare the body. Stage 2, the brain arrives primed. Stage 3, learning compounds at a rate that feels almost unfair. The practical application is not 2 hours. It is 20 minutes minimum of something that genuinely elevates your heart rate. Running. Calisthenics, whatever fits your reality and your schedule. The goal is not aesthetics. The goal is arriving at your desk with a brain that is neurologically more capable of deep work than it was 30 minutes ago. 20 minutes. That is the intervention. But there is a specific moment between finishing your exercise and sitting down to work where everything you just built neurologically can be silently destroyed in less than 5 minutes. And almost nobody in this space talks about it. Is the moment that quietly destroys most morning routines. And it is not the moment most people expect. You wake up, you get your light, you do your identity anchor, you exercise, you feel genuinely good, proud even. Like today is going to be different. And then, between finishing your morning routine and sitting down to work, you check Instagram. Just 5 minutes, just to see what happened overnight. And everything you spent the last 90 minutes building neurologically begins to unravel. Quietly, invisibly. Before you have even opened a book, here is the biology of what is happening in that moment. Your dopamine baseline, which you carefully managed throughout the entire morning sequence, just received a flood of cheap, high-speed stimulation, and your brain, which was primed for slow, deep, focused cognitive work, is now being asked to compete with the neurological residue of everything you just consumed. This is called attention residue. Research shows content leaves a cognitive trace in your working memory for up to 23 minutes after you put the phone down. So from the moment you wake until you sit down to work, 0 social media, 0 YouTube, 0 group chats, sealed environment, then sit down, stare at your work for 10 minutes. Let the boredom hit. At 10 minutes, earphones in, binaural beats begin, comment protocol below and I will send you the playlist personally. That is the complete 5 a.m. protocol. Not because 5 a.m. is a magical time, because it is a neurological programming chain your brain cannot resist. Ayanokoji never waited to feel ready. He just started. And if this video changed how you think about your mornings, subscribe, because the next video goes even deeper into the psychology most people will never understand.